All right. What's going on?
Welcome.
Morning. All right, here we go. It's about 10:30 Pacific, and we are just about to get going. How you doing, Brian?
Good. Ryan, how about you, man? I know this is going to be a wild one.
This is going to be a wild one. It's also going to be epic. It's going to be great. This is something that we've been working on for quite some time now, and pretty excited to share it with the whole world here.
Yeah. So, there's Ahmed, a partner of Upkeep.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, cool. Well, welcome to our first series of maintenance and AI. Today is going to be the very first one of this series. We're going to be talking about the future of AI in maintenance, where we are today, what's next, and then ultimately how to prepare. All right, this is a live webinar, and just to prove it, we want to make sure that we drive some engagement in this webinar. So if you've been with us in the past, you know how this works. Go into Livestorm, type in questions. If you've got anything, we're going to save it for the end. Maybe we'll try to get through it throughout the actual webinar. But just ask us questions. We're going to keep this lively. We want it to be an interaction. Go ahead, Brian.
Sorry. Yeah. Make sure you're using the question button at the bottom. If you put questions into the chat, it's likely that we will miss them when Q&A comes. So put them in the questions box, and then we'll be able to structurally go through them at the end. But yeah, so a lot of familiar names here. Cody Krieger, Oregon. We got Mike Ramsey. Look at everybody piling in. Tampa.
I also love this too, Brian, because we have so many people that do this on a regular basis. They joined our webinars. I didn't even have to say, like, hey, let us know where you're coming from. Type it into the chat, and we have the entire chat blown up already.
They already know. As soon as we start, they start putting it in there. And we need to commemorate a lot of these dedicated individuals. We need to have some sort of webinar badge. Like, I've seen 10 Upkeep webinars. This is my badge, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, again, welcome everyone. We got Brittany coming from the Cayman Islands, Dave from Tulsa, Ontario. We've got we got Abe from Philadelphia. Just incredible. We have a worldwide global audience here joining us today. If you are interested in how AI is going to shape our industry, you came to the right place. All right, I want to make sure that we provide as much value as possible. So we're going to jump right in. You ready, Brian?
Ready.
All right, let's do it. My name is Ryan. I'm the CEO and founder here at Upkeep. My background, I was went to Cal Berkeley as a chemical engineer. My first job was working in a manufacturing plant. As a process engineer, I saw how bad software was, and I said, I think I could build something better. I've been saying to our company, our team, that I am more excited now and today than basically I've ever been since the very, very start of building Upkeep 10 years ago. I think we're at this incredibly defining moment with maintenance and technology that is absolutely going to change the world. So I'm super excited. This is something that we've been working on for a long, long time. And this is our big unveil for everyone here today. My background, I've, again, spent 10 years in this industry building great software technology for the maintenance, reliability, operations community. I love it. It's my passion. It's how I've spent the last decade. And I want to spend the next 10 years doing the same. I'm here joined with our very own Brian. Brian, you want to give a quick intro?
Sure. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah. So a lot of you know me. I'm Brian. I'm the head of community partnerships here at Upkeep. I spent the majority of my career as a practitioner, from heavy equipment mechanic to director of maintenance and reliability to executive of maintenance, leading multiple teams around the country, was a flight deck troubleshooter in the Navy, spent the last 20 plus years turning the wrenches, leading the teams, and doing the work. So I love maintenance. I love machines. I love all those things. So that's why you're going to see my ugly mug on all these webinars.
And what I will also say too, Brian, is we stole you. You were an Upkeep customer.
Oh, yes.
To the Upkeep side. So
yep, scaled Upkeep to 7 locations around the country with tens and tens and tens, if not hundreds of users, all kinds of stuff.
All right. Hell yeah. All right. Well, again, we got a jam-packed agenda today. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We've got a couple hundred people here today with us. You all are interested in hearing about the future of maintenance, AI, and how we're going to play a big pivotal role in defining the future. Again, large agenda. So we're going to speed through all of the different topics, different slides that we have, and make sure that we have time at the very, very end for some Q&A. I've already got a few questions in the chat, and the webinar hasn't even started. So I think this is going to be a good one, Brian.
That's right.
Agenda for today, we're going to talk about the pivotal moment that we're in today, the future of maintenance in this AI era, where we are today, and then we'll do a quick reality check, because we're going to be talking about the future, but it's also about understanding where we are right now. So we're going to do that AI reality check. And then I hope that we can leave with 5 tidbits of things we can bring back to our plant, our facility, on how to activate AI and maintenance right now. So again, 5 very actionable things. We're going to show you some product demos of, if you're an Upkeep customer, how you can use and start leveraging AI at your facility today. And then we're going to leave it open for some Q&A. Again, already have a few questions coming. So again, this is going to be a good one. The goals for today. 1, I just want to make sure everyone knows. I want to call out this very defining moment in history that we're living through right now and why it matters. I want to paint the vision for the future of maintenance and what's coming next, and then ultimately show you all how to lead the way and build the road that others can follow. So that's our agenda. These are my outcomes. So if we can hit on all 3 of these outcomes, I would say that it's a very successful webinar. All right, we're just jumping in here. Here's my disclaimer before I get into anything. You're going to hear me talk about the future. Some of it's going to sound like science fiction. Some of it's going to sound pretty far out there. But remember this. The technology you're seeing today is the worst it'll ever be, and we are at the very beginning stages of this exponential curve. We here at Upkeep, and I have a very strong point of view on where our industry is headed. And I'm going to tell you that today. I'm going to give you my perspective of what's going to happen over the next 5 years. My ask is just listen, keep an open mind, suspend disbelief. Give me the next 50 minutes to just hear me out. The technology is at the very, very early stages, and it is the worst that it will ever be. And it is only getting better every single day. All right, that's my disclaimer. Let's jump in. I believe that we're at this defining moment in history right now. In our industry, if you operate in the physical world, managing physical assets, our industry is about a decade behind. If history repeats itself, what happens is the physical world lags behind the digital world about 10 years or more. But what that also means is that you, in our industry, has the absolute most to gain if you leverage this technology shift. If you stay ahead of this curve, you can help bridge and bring the entire industry back into the future. I believe that we are at this defining moment in history right now, and it's not just me saying this. You have the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, going up on stage saying AI is the most profound technology humanity is working on. Sundar Pichai has said it is more profound than fire, electricity, or anything humanity has done in the past. This is the moment that we are living through right now. This is why, one of the big reasons why I believe that we are at this defining moment in history. It's not just me. It's some of the biggest, best minds in the entire world saying this is a profound technology that's going to shape and change our entire lives. And we have $3 trillion companies betting the entire company on this technological shift. It's something to pay attention to. AI is transforming every single industry, every single role, every single country in the world. And whether you realize it or not, it has already happened. It's making massive disruptions to almost, so many different industries across education, transportation, healthcare. It's already made massive disruptions in these 3 industries. This has just started. If you've got kids or know people with kids, you probably know it's completely disrupted how we're doing education right now and today. I think that this is an old stat. I think that number is much higher. It said that 46% of students are already using AI tools. And then they also showed some conflicting data, or data that I thought would be conflicting, but it's not. It's saying that this report showed that 27%, it reduced study time by up to 27%. But not only that, it improved test scores by 62%. So AI is completely transforming education. On top of that, it's completely transforming transportation as well. If you haven't ridden in a Waymo or know what a Waymo is, these self-driving cars all around San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Texas. Right now, today, Waymo's delivering over 200,000 self-driving rides every single week. Again, if you haven't ridden in one, it's absolutely mind-boggling. There's no driver, there's no steering wheel interaction, it's just AI behind the wheel. It's completely transforming healthcare. My wife is a physician, she sees it, she's using AI. One example of how AI is transforming healthcare, 30% of radiologists are using AI to help read through scans, sift through scans, and make better diagnoses. 30% in a very slow-moving industry. Again, I mentioned this already. AI is transforming every single industry, and I believe that maintenance is going to be no exception. And if you don't believe that's true, we can look at all these other adjacent industries to us and see how it's making massive changes to those industries in such a short period of time. We are just at the very early innings of what I think is going to be possible. Again, I mentioned the manufacturing, the physical world oftentimes lags the digital world by a decade or more. So by looking at different industries in the digital world, I think we get a glimpse into the future of what is going to happen to our industry. The future of maintenance is rapidly evolving. And I want to ask everyone here, are you going to lead? Are you going to be the driver? Are you going to fall behind? And obviously, if you're in today's webinar, obviously that's a big kudos to you, because it means that you're interested, you're learning, you're getting educated about how AI is changing the world around us, and you're thinking about how it's going to shape and change, our industry. I can say this is the first step to leading. Right now, people want AI to be the co-pilot, the passenger. I think that AI is actually going to be the driver. I think AI is going to outthink, outanalyze, outdiagnose us. And you ask yourself, okay, what's our role if it's going to be smarter than us in so many different facets? What's our role? It's going to be to build the road that AI is driving on. And so if you're curious, what does that road ahead look like? What's that road that we're paving? What does maintenance look like in an AI-powered world? Well, again, that's what this entire webinar is all about. I prefaced it all, we haven't even touched the surface of what's going to happen to our industry, but I wanted to put a big disclaimer at the very beginning here to show how it's already made massive changes, impacts, transformations to different industries. I want us to recognize the moment that we're in right now. It's going to shape and change our industry. We have a strong point of view. I have a strong point of view of what the road ahead looks like. And I've got this question that I'm going to answer, don't worry. But before I do, I want to ask everyone here, before I answer this question of how AI is going to shape and change the world, I want to ask everyone here, what changes do you think that AI is going to have in maintenance over the next 10 years?
This
Drop
could,
it into Go
yeah,
ahead.
drop it into the chat. Sorry, Ryan. I'll say this could be what you would love to see, what you figure is going to happen anyway. It could be how adjacent industries could be impacting maintenance. It could be anything.
Drop it into the chat. We want to see your wildest, craziest ideas. And then my promise to you all, I'll give you my perspective. I'll give you the Upkeep perspective.
So Rachel, click on the link I sent. You're going to see that that's already a reality. Safer, more economical, stronger mitigate. Yep. You're putting in a lot of things. Putting in a lot that are already going to come to reality soon.
Think bigger. I mean, this is next 10 years. We're going to show you some videos of things that already exist in the Upkeep product today. Like, I think even bigger transformations are going to happen.
Yeah. A lot of these things, Ryan, are things that Upkeep's already tackling.
All right. Well, it's good that we got some product demos. If you're an Upkeep customer, these are things that you'll start to be able to do and use today. All right, here we go. AI, managing AI. I like that. There we go. That's some out-of-the-box thinking, Mike. IoT for everything. You know, we've been talking about IoT for a long, long time. We've been talking about digital twins for a long, long time. Yeah, this might be the moment where we actually cross that chasm.
Hey Ryan, we had a note from a participant about changing the view. He said he can't read the slides.
Can't read the slides. All right, huh?
We always get one or two of those every webinar, but I don't know how to change it. It's just, it is what it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. It seems like other people have no problem seeing it. So let's see if we can help them out. All right. So we got tons of really good ideas here. Thank you everyone for dropping in your vision of what's going to happen over the next 10 years. Let me give you my perspective. Let me give you my thoughts. You can tell me I'm right or wrong. And only time will tell who's right. I think the future of maintenance in an AI era is going to look very interesting. And here's what I believe is coming. And, you know, I said next 10 years, it's not going to be over, 2050, the next 25 years. Everything that you might see and hear, I think is going to come much accelerated. I think it's going to come much, much faster than we all may believe. I think it's going to come in the next 2 to 5 years. I alluded to this one already, the digital twin. It's something that we've been talking about, the entire industry has been talking about for a long, long time. Digital twin this and that. But we haven't really cracked the code. I would say, this is something we've been talking about for 2 decades now. We're going to have a digital twin over our entire facility. But I think AI is going to be the catalyst, the driver that actually enables us to go from this pipe dream to an actual reality. Imagine every single piece of equipment, every valve, every motor, every pipe mirrored digitally. In real time, this isn't a static 3D model. I believe we are going to crack the code with AI, leveraging AI on a true digital twin of your entire facility. A living, breathing simulation of everything going on. It's going to think, it's going to learn, it's going to respond. It's going to give you instant visibility into your entire operation down to the bolt. You can run simulations. Your digital twin will know before a machine fails. There's been a lot of talk about, IoT, remote diagnostics. Imagine this. You can run simulations without even lifting a finger. You can run simulations on what may happen under what conditions without even having to change a bolt, turn a lever, or move anything in the physical world. I think AI is going to be the catalyst for a true digital twin. You can run full process change. You can run it virtually without, again, touching anything in the digital world. in the physical world. I think this is the future that we are going to see over the next 2 to 5 years. The reality of a digital twin is going to happen with AI. My second prediction here about how AI is going to shape and change our industry. Imagine this reality where, we've been talking so much about predictive maintenance, and Brian, I know how, overused that term is and how much, you and we don't love that. But maybe we go beyond. Maybe we leapfrog this whole term altogether. And it goes from predictive to autonomous. Right now, I think a lot of companies are thinking you're doing the most cutting edge, bleeding edge technology because you've got these predictive alerts. Again, you and I have talked about this quite a bit, Brian. What is predictive today? It's basically like, vibration spikes, heat maps, sensor checks. It's all reactive. It's just reacting a little bit earlier. That's what a lot of predictive maintenance is right now. But I think the future is going to be autonomous maintenance. That means not just detection, but diagnosis, dispatch, in the entire resolution loop handled by AI. So here's what I mean by this, an example of this. It's a bearing starting to degrade. It's a sensor detecting this subtle vibration change. Okay? This is something that we've got today. But now you're going to bring in AI to cross-check historical failure data. It's going to look at usage patterns, ambient conditions. It'll help diagnose what's going on. It'll generate a work order. It'll assign the right technician. It'll order parts from inventory, and it will schedule that job dependent on technician skills, availability. It'll look at parts on hand, and it'll make sure that the production schedule doesn't get touched. This is what I mean by autonomous maintenance. By the time anyone finds out, that problem will already be solved. What this ultimately means for you guys, our customers, and our industry, I think we have the opportunity to bring downtime to near zero. I think technicians are going to start working on high impact jobs. Finally, not just chasing alerts and being reactive. And my hope, my vision, if you've been on a few of these webinars with me already, my vision behind maintenance is that maintenance is going to turn from a cost center into a revenue driver. This is how we get there. My vision for where our industry is going and maintenance is going is we're going to destroy the keyboard. No more typing. I think the future of maintenance is just going to be natural language. Natural language is going to be the new interface. Right now, we spend so much time documenting. We're logging work orders, typing out descriptions. We're updating a CMMS. It's slow, it's clunky, it's universally hated, right? We're good at turning wrenches. We don't want to be stuck back in the office retyping our notes back in. But what do we know? We know how to speak. Natural language is going to be the new interface. Technicians can walk up to a machine, pull out their phones. You can say, hey, I changed out the pump seal on compressor 3. It took 20 minutes. There are no issues found. And here's what AI is going to do. It's going to transcribe. It's going to autofill the work order. It's going to tag the right asset, log the hours, add all of your parts that were used, close out the job, and it's going to be done automatically. There's going to be zero typing, only talking. We think this is going to be the future of maintenance. It's going to look a whole lot different with technology using AI. We're going to have more tools in real time. We're going to be enabled with richer data sets because, again, like AI can capture anything and everything. You don't have to have this large structured data set where you're filling out forms anymore. I believe that the future of maintenance is going to be through natural language. What else? I think the future of maintenance is going to be education and knowledge democratized. I think the future of maintenance is that everyone is going to have a PhD in reliability in their back pocket. We talk about RCAs, FMEAs, asset criticality. Right now, if you look at the most leading industries and organizations, you've got these specialists on hand, full time, just analyzing data, looking at and analyzing data. You've got trained reliability experts with decades of experience. And if you didn't have this, then you were completely flying blind. But what has AI enabled? It's democratized knowledge. Talk about this rotation from white collar jobs into blue collar jobs. AI has democratized knowledge. It's embedded in all of the tools that you use, Upkeep included. You can point to your phone at a failure code, at a fault code, describe a symptom in just natural language, and you get this instant expertise. And so again, you have this ability now. No one has any excuse for not knowing. You have the ability to become an expert. The most junior technicians can start to run FMEAs without even knowing what an FMEA stands for. Your operator is going to log a failure. AI is going to suggest 3 validated RCA paths. Again, this is going to be all before an engineer gets the alert. This is going to be forced multiplication. This is going to be every single team having this digital co-pilot, this digital employee trained by the best reliability minds in the world. And it's not going to sleep. It's not going to take the weekends off. It's going to be available 24/7. I think this is going to be the future of maintenance. Again, I'm talking about some pretty wild things. Again, my disclaimer here, the technology is the absolute worst that it will ever be right now. The last one here, my big prediction on where AI is going in maintenance, tribal knowledge. This is a thing that we've been talking about for so long. And the unfortunate truth is that every single plant runs on this very fragile network of unwritten rules. It's stored up here in memory from that one guy, that one person that knows how to fix it when it's break. That's what I mean by tribal knowledge. And that's one of the big reasons why we talk about using a platform, is to store all of this tribal knowledge. So when that person retires, when Joe retires, when Maria's on PTO, when a new hire starts, they know what to do, and that knowledge doesn't walk out the door. I think with AI, we're going to have an end to this tribal knowledge. You have one single central brain knowledge database. Again, what AI is doing is democratizing knowledge. It's going to enable us to capture more data. It's going to enable us to make sense of it so that every fix, every failure, every insight, every nuance is captured, it's structured, and then ultimately it's shared and accessible. Again, you can take these spoken logs, you categorize it. AI helps categorize it. It learns patterns. It surfaces best practices. It ultimately gives context before anyone asks. I think this is going to be the future. The future is this end of tribal knowledge. It's going to be machine remembered truth. We're going to be using AI to help us make sense of all of this data that lives in this unstructured database. I think this is going to be the future of maintenance. Not over the next 10 years, not over the next 20 years, but over the next 2 to 5 years. And again, we're starting to see glimpses of this. Might be very, very early stages in our industry and maintenance, reliability, operations, manufacturing, the physical world, but it is starting to happen right now. Again, a lot of the things that I've said and talked about today may sound like things distant, far out into the future, but it is starting to happen now. We've got thousands of customers, and we've talked to some of the most leading customers and companies, and they're thinking about all of these points. They're thinking about how we can use AI to put an end to tribal knowledge, to create a single database that has all of the world's best experts in one single place. It's happening right now, but the reality is that 99% of companies, and it may be your company too, they're nowhere close to being ready. Most companies are still at the very, very early infancy stages of even thinking about AI. But if you're here in this webinar today, I want to, again, just applaud you for thinking forward, getting ahead of the curve, understanding what this may mean for me, my role, my industry, my company, and how can I stay ahead. I think most companies today are barely scratching the surface of what's possible with AI. I think we're in the calculator phase of this technology that's capable of completely rewriting the entire industry. Again, I think we're at the very early innings here. The real transformations haven't even started for most of us. So here's what I've done. We've laid out what AI has done to few other industries and how it's already accelerated these transformations across education, transportation, and also healthcare. We've talked about this big pie in the sky vision of where I think maintenance is headed over the next 5 years-ish. Again, some of it sounds pretty far out there, but I think it's going to happen. And what I want us to do now is bring us back to reality. Where are we today? Let's do this quick AI reality check. You know, Brian is very close to a lot of you guys here in this webinar today, talking to our customers or prospects, people in the industry. Brian, where are we today? Because, you know, I've talked enough about, you know, where we're going to go in the next 10 years, 5 years. What's happening right now?
Sure. Yeah. So a lot of things you said, right, are amazing potentials for the future. But as you also said, right now, the majority of us, you know, leading maintenance teams, being a maintenance technician, a supervisor, a maintenance manager, we don't really recognize that value quite yet, right? There's things that we need to have in place and things we need to understand before we can completely leverage that type of technology. So, you know, very simply put, AI is just as good as the fundamentals. Without them, it's just noise, right? So we still firmly believe that you need to have a very good footing and foundation underneath of you, from your culture to your fundamental practices of your CMMS strategy, your preventive maintenance strategy, all these different things. You have to have those things for now, right? And there's a lot of buzzwords in AI maintenance, you know, and a lot of it's just marketing fluff, and it's not really grounded in reality. Or better put, it's not really impactful for the people who are doing the work. That's probably the best way I can put it, right? It's good for somebody in an office who wants to look at things and whatever, but the guy turning the wrench, he has to be connected to that system or that process or that new technology. Go ahead, Ryan. So where are we? So AI maintenance, the adoption is, you know, very low. Essentially, it's less than 20% of manufacturing companies using AI. That is maintenance, operations, you know, production, quality, you know, so that's an accumulative number of all these different things. It's not very utilized. In reality, it's probably more higher level things, trying to aggregate some information or pick out anomalies out of large data sets, right, where people still have to be involved. And again, pilot programs, they're selective, right? What do we want to use this specific thing on? And again, it's very likely that a human has to interface or be the determining factor in anything that's found. So again, you know, we are in these places where AI is there. We all know about it. We recognize it. But in reality, we're not leveraging or using it really. We're being very selective. Nonetheless, go ahead, Ryan. So I've actually said this, and Ryan, it's funny that we put this in here. It's super powerful and extremely beneficial, but it is not magic. Okay. There's a reason that, you know, AI is also called like LLM, large language models, and, you know, machine learning, all this. It's learning from the bulk of knowledge of humanity. So it's learning those things, and it learns even better when you prompt it with things and tell it if it's wrong or that doesn't make sense. So it's a ever evolving, continuous process, but it's not magic. It really, really, really delivers good pattern recognition, hence the talk about condition monitoring and looking at millions of data points, bringing things to a human's attention to then make decisions on. Again, condition monitoring, data analysis, so looking at work orders, looking at past failure data, looking at data points that in reality are just too much for a human to look at. You know, a planner scheduler's day is so full of being out in the field, working job plans, getting parts, you know, Supervisors are leading teams. Maintenance managers are trying to align the bigger business with their maintenance department. Having these types of tools to help with those remedial tasks or building out large information systems and understandings are where this is really shining right now. Good, Ryan. Okay. What isn't it delivering? And we put yet, and if you guys read my Reliable article, I put some yets in there too, right? Because it's only a matter of time. So fully autonomous maintenance systems remain unrealistic. So essentially, there's no AI tool that's going to go, I troubleshot the machine, I'm physically there at the plant, and I'm doing the work instead of a technician. That doesn't happen, right? It requires human oversight, like we talked about. So we're getting tons and tons of information. It's being dialed down for us so that we can make informed decisions. But we, at the end of the day, have to make the decision or understand the context and the insight of our individual unique operations to then have our judgment calls. Integration challenges data quality, right? So the adoption, in my opinion, is more the problem here than it being able to deal with the data. I think that there are pilot programs in place with some people that the data recognition is there. It's about getting the bigger business or the local team to leverage and understand where these tools and technologies fit, and ultimately, most important thing, how it's going to benefit them at the end of the day. Go ahead, Ron. All right, what's stopping us? So poor or insufficient historical data. Well, that goes back, right? Because AI is learning from us. It's looking at the bulk of human knowledge. And if we're not good at being humans and doing maintenance, right, then ultimately it could get bad information to then tell us, right? Resistance to change, lack of organization already. We talked about that a bit. It's really tough to bridge the gap between maintainer and executive and how AI bridges that gap and what it can do for both. Integrations. So again, I'm not a programmer. I don't know all those types of things, but I'm assuming that there's a lot of programs and technology out there that is just not ready to receive the amount of information and power that the AI tools are going to have. So that could be a limiting factor. And then something that's 99% right or said differently 1% wrong is still not good enough for manufacturing. So you guys know this. If you're in heavy, high process, high speed manufacturing facilities, 1 minute, 10 minutes of downtime could be $1 million. So we really don't have the leeway to hedge all that risk on that one technology at the moment. So it's really going to take some really sitting back, building those fundamentals, and then having a complete understanding of your facility, of all the things that you want, and then letting AI learn off of those things. Go ahead, Ryan. Okay, question. Are you using AI in your maintenance operations today? If so, how? Again, it could be anything. It could be, hey, we have an AI tool that tells us when contractors are at the door. Or it could be, we have AI tools that are completely doing all the work for us and none of us even knew that it was possible, and that's what you're doing. Let us know what you got.
All right. Thank you, Brian, for the quick reality check.
Sure.
Again, we talked quite a bit about where the industry is headed, my big vision for where AI is going to take maintenance. But then the very real reality, Brian, of where a lot of our customers in the industry is at today. I would say we're still at the very, very infancy stages.
Yeah.
Let's read through some of the responses we've got. It's managing technician dispatch routes for distributed assets. It's awesome.
Yep.
Right. You can use AI to help make smarter routes for you based off of, availability, locations. Awesome.
We have skim maintenance manuals to generate first pass PM procedures. Just, Anthony, make sure you're really connecting with the team doing the work to make sure that those are in alignment with the reality of your machine's context and condition.
You got Abe here using AI for vibration monitoring. Again, like what AI is so good at is taking, billions of rows of data and making sense of it, giving you the PhD in vibration analysis in your back pocket. That's awesome, Abe. All right.
Yep.
I want to continue to hear more of these because, and again, this is an opportunity for us to all learn from one another. So appreciate everyone dropping in, how they're using AI in your existing workflows today. This is going to be very, very actionable for others here in this webinar. But what I want to do is talk about 5 moves to activate AI in maintenance using Upkeep right now, today. What we've talked quite a bit about is it's going to take process change. It's going to take people change. It's going to take leadership. It's all about execution. It starts right now. And I'm super excited to announce that we are launching Upkeep Intelligence. This is Upkeep's very first dive into AI and how we are building the future of maintenance in our industry. So I'm going to quickly play this video for us all, share what Upkeep Intelligence is, and then I'll walk you through exactly how to use it in Upkeep today that you all have access to. All right, let's go. You ready, Brian?
Let's roll with it.
All right, if you're pumped up, I am too. I'm super excited. This is our launch of Upkeep Intelligence. Starting today, you're gonna have access to all of our Upkeep features, either if you're an existing customer or if you have access to our early access program with Upkeep Intelligence, you're gonna have access to all of these AI features now. Again, what we are doing here is not just telling you what's going to happen in the future, but we're building that road for you. Again, we want to see you lead. We want to see you lead the entire industry with AI. And again, today marks the very first day that we're giving access to all of our customers the ability to use and deploy Upkeep Intelligence across your facility. All right, so here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to walk through the five different ways to use Upkeep at your facility using Upkeep Intelligence. This is either available today in Upkeep in your existing account that you've got, or it's available through our early access program. And if you want to get access to it, we're going to drop a link here, and you can sign up for it. Either Brian or Courtney will. It's really cool. I'm super excited. This is one of the biggest days in Upkeep history.
We've been dropping those links in the chat, so just keep checking that out. You can click on those links. Courtney just posted one. You can go check out everything Ryan's about to talk about.
All right, I told everyone here, you're joining this webinar, you're gonna hear about the future of maintenance, but I'm gonna leave you with 5 things that you can do today to start leveraging AI to make yourself, your team, your company better, smarter, and faster. You heard me allude to this already. I think that we are going to use voice to text to absolutely kill the keyboard. I think voice is going to redefine how technicians interact with systems. Typing slow, menus clunky. Your voice, it's fast, it's powerful. It's intuitive. All of us knows how to say, you know, walk line 4, we found a leak, it needs attention today. You can do this in Upkeep right now. Hey, Brian, do you mind hitting
sorry.
mute on your, yeah, all good. You can use voice, speech to text. You can run plant inspections to auto-generate inspection reports, flag requests. You can talk to Upkeep to close out work orders, complete jobs, add notes. This is all available in Upkeep. Again, this is another representation of how we believe we're going to define the road and build the road of using AI to build the future of maintenance. Again, this is one thing you can do that exists in Upkeep today. A second part here, we talked quite a bit about voice to text, but what about using image recognition in videos? Well, here's what we believe. Starting today with Upkeep Intelligence, it's about snapping a picture and instantly updating your inventory. So we're saying, you know, welcome to AI-powered parts management using Upkeep Intelligence. Instead, the old way was clicking down drop downs, manually updating inventory, doing your own cycle counts, just clicking button by button. But now, you know, all of us receive these shipping labels, these purchase orders. Now, just take a picture of that shipping label. With Upkeep Intelligence, what it will do is it'll automatically read it. It'll extract the part numbers, match them, update stock, all done automatically. There's no manual entry, no searching. It's just one click. You're going to take a picture. It'll update everything for you. Again, it'll show you, hey, you know, is this the right quantity? Is this the right part? There still is that human in the loop. You're seeing this here on the left. It's taking a picture of that shipping label and updating your entire inventory, no typing. This is going to be the future of maintenance. This is the old world. That's the old world. This is the new world with Upkeep Intelligence. This is the second thing that you can start doing today in Upkeep to, again, make your team just smarter, faster, better, more efficient, and enable your team to spend more time out in the field turning wrenches, not sitting behind a desk, you know, doing cycle counts and updating part inventory quantities. All right, we talked about another one, about structured data. You know, there was this old belief that you needed structured, perfectly tagged data before you can use AI, and that is completely false. The truth is that if you've got data quality issues, which have oftentimes been one of the biggest barriers to implementing new systems, software, technology, that it's no problem. AI is literally meant to handle messy, unstructured, chaotic data. In maintenance, that's what most of us are dealing with. We are kind of like thriving, unfortunately. You know, we've been living, I shouldn't say thriving, we've been living off handwritten notes, scattered PDFs, just all these inconsistent work order logs, rogue spreadsheets. But the beauty of AI is that's perfectly okay. So in Upkeep today, you can take these very dirty spreadsheets, you can take these handwritten notes, you can take pictures of them and upload it into Upkeep. Again, what you're seeing here on the left is, you know, our ability to find dupes, find issues in your data and help clean it up for you using AI. You can dump 10 years of work order history in Upkeep, and AI will comb through it. It'll help you identify trends. It'll look at your most frequent assets. It'll look at most common fixes and give you clean insights before you hit approve. You've got no excuse now. I feel like so many times I hear about, you know, all the challenges with implementing, deploying technology using Upkeep because of, you know, hey, I have to have the right structured data. That doesn't exist anymore. With Upkeep Intelligence, which we are launching today, you have access to the ability to import, clean up all of your data and use Upkeep and take all this unstructured data and put it in an Upkeep in a structured way to run reports off of it. This is the third application of AI and how you can go back to your facility if you're an Upkeep customer and use AI to make yourself smarter, better, faster. The fourth example here, instantly generate SOPs and checklists. Again, the pain today, it takes It takes a long time. It takes a long time to create your SOPs, your checklists, it's tedious, it's expensive. You got 2 process engineers right now locked in a room. You're coming through manuals, or arguing over steps, formatting documents, and it still winds up out of date. And now with Upkeep Intelligence, you can automatically generate SOPs, checklists, inspection reports. This is all done in an instant. This is something that exists in Upkeep today. If you haven't seen this feature, use it, check it out. What used to take 2 engineers 10 days, you can now do it in half an hour. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be perfect, but it'll get you about like 80, 90% the way there. And then it's gonna rely on you, your human expertise, to go off and sign off on it. All right, that's number 4. The 5th one that you can do in Upkeep, we heard some glimpses of this. We heard, one of our customers, webinar attendees, talk about using AI for smart routing. This is it. With Upkeep Intelligence, with our early access beta program, you now have access to AI-powered resource planning. Similar to route optimization, this is schedule optimization. What we know happens today is scheduling is a complete mess. You're looking at technician availability, skills, certifications, travel time. You're looking at job priority, and it's a mess. You're trying to look at the calendar and schedule the right person on the right day with the right skill set. But what Upkeep Intelligence does, it does what humans can't, or at least took humans, 100 times longer to do. It instantly analyzes all the different variables, assigns the right technician to the right job at the right time at the right place. It looks at technician skills, certifications. It looks at availability. It looks at travel time. It looks at complexity, priority, and it also looks at historical performance data. And it helps drop in full schedules in for you. What you're seeing here on the left is, again, the smart optimizations, the smart planning, the smart scheduling. You drop in the backlog of jobs that you've got, you look at your team, and our AI-powered resource planning will help create that schedule for you. It's going to require that human in the loop. We're going to ask you to go in and hit approve on all of this, because we know, at least right now, obviously with Brian's reality check on where we are today, it's not going to be perfect, and we can't afford that 1% being wrong. So we're going to enable each one of you to go in, hit approve on these schedules. It's going to take.
There's also a lot of optimization coming to this. Sorry, Ryan.
Oh no, you're absolutely right.
This is just the beginning. I'm speaking with a lot of our engineering team and having a chance to sit with them and talk about the applicable uses for our actionable teams. We've made a lot of recommendations that will make this wild.
It's only getting better. Again, just remember, the technology today is the worst that it will ever be in history. And what I wanted to do today, again, we went through a lot today, and we're nearing the end of our webinar. We talked about the big vision, the big future of where AI is taking the entire world. We brought it down. We talked about how AI is going to shape and change our industry over the next 5 years. We got a quick reality check from Brian. And what you hopefully saw today are 5 very actionable things that you can use Upkeep for, to use AI in your plant operations today to make yourself, your team, your company smarter, better, and more productive, more efficient using AI. And I hope that you can walk away from this webinar saying, here are 5 very actionable things that I can start to use and deploy right now. Again, all of this exists in Upkeep. It exists today. You have no excuses. You have access to either an Upkeep product or with early access into our Upkeep Intelligence Early Access program. Again, if you want to get access to it, sign up for early access. Again, I think we've dropped in the link several times here, but it's pretty cool. I'm really excited. And I'm not just excited about AI as a technology. Now, I'm excited because it's making our industry, maintenance, reliability, operations, It's making our industry smarter, faster, and more essential than ever before. If you've heard me on a few different webinars, you've probably heard me repeat this a few times. We're at a very interesting moment in our industry in particular. We've got a triple tailwind behind our backs. We've got a rotation from the knowledge worker jobs, the desk jobs, into the field service jobs, the blue collar jobs. We're seeing a blue collar boom right now. On top of that, we're seeing a return of American manufacturing. We're seeing increasing political pressure to onshore manufacturing back here in the United States, which is only going to bring more jobs back into our industry, into our segment. And then the third one here is, if you believe in the proliferation of AI, that ultimately means more automation. More automation means more robotics. More robotics means more repairs, and more repairs equals a booming time for our industry, more technicians. I think we've got a triple tailwind behind our back, and I'm more excited about our industry than I have ever felt before. But how I started this entire webinar is that the future isn't something that any of us are going to wait for. And it shows in the hundreds of people that have joined today. It's going to be something that we create. And so the people, the companies that lead, that act now, are going to lead the future. So embrace the unknown, be bold. What you've seen today is a reinvention of Upkeep. We're completely reinventing the way that we're viewing our own product for you, our customers. But this is also a reinvention of maintenance. So again, thank you for joining this webinar. If you're an Upkeep customer, you can sign up for early access to our AI products, tools, Upkeep Intelligence. Go to upkeep.com/upkeepai. If you're not an Upkeep customer yet, you can sign up for one of our demos. We're going to drop a bunch of links into the chat. And hey, if you're using AI in maintenance today, we want to talk to you. Again, what we've said today is that 99% of companies aren't ready yet, but there is the 1% of companies that are truly the bleeding edge of where leading where the future of maintenance is going. So I would love to talk to you as well. Shoot me an email. My email is very, very simple. It's ryan@upkeep.com. I will respond to you, my promise. I would love to chat with you. I would love to learn how you're using AI in your maintenance operations. And with all that being said, we've got just a couple minutes, Brian, here with some Q&A.
Yeah, so there's one that someone put in the chat. I just kept it in my mind because it's one that I think you'll be able to answer. So it said, is Upkeep integrated with OpenAI?
The answer is yes, as we are also integrated with several of the other large language models. We're not tied to a single one. We're going to choose the best one for your customers. And we're constantly reevaluating on the back end. Is it giving you, our customers, the best answers to your problems? We're not tied to OpenAI. We could swap out large language models anytime. Right now, OpenAI is one of them that we use.
Cool. Next one. How do you reassure leadership that AI can be trusted to be secure, especially after some AI programs have been found to use data they collected for unintended reasons?
Security is difficult. I mean, this is one of the big, I don't have the best answer to that question, transparently, Brian. And this is one of the biggest unknown questions in the entire industry right now.
Yeah.
Is what's happening is AI, you can dump just like billions of parameters around, and train it off of trillions of terabytes of data. And it learns a lot. It has access to so much. No one's really figured out this security concern, but what I can tell you is we treat our customers' data with the utmost importance.
I have one more, Ryan. So this is from Giles. So what do you think are the financial implications of implementing these new technologies? Everything discussed would be wonderful for my company, but it's likely far too small. 5 to 6 person maintenance team with only a $500,000 a year budget. So how would you have an affordable transition?
There's no budget that's too small.
That was my
Again,
fault.
again, like there is no more excuse. You can literally purchase it, ChatGPT either for free or $20 a month. Like that product alone has some incredible opportunities. It enables companies, teams, people to have a PhD in vibration analysis, reliability in your back pocket. There's no excuse. If you're an existing Upkeep customer, well, it doesn't cost you anything right now to implement all of the things that we just talked about. There's no excuse. A $500,000 budget, you can do a lot with it. What AI enables you to do is actually operate as if you were a Fortune 500. It enables you to have and operate a maintenance, reliability, operation organization as if you had the budget of a company that was 10 times the size of yours, if you use it the right way.
It essentially allows you to do more with less, right?
Or it enables you to do more, even more with more.
Yeah, I could look at it either way, right? So, Ryan, that was wonderful. That was our last question. There were some Upkeep questions, but I had been answering them in the questions. So those were the 3 or 4 big ones about the AI portion. But yeah, that was awesome. Ryan, closing statement.
No, I mean, just thank you everyone for being leaders in our industry, for paving the path. This is a very exciting time. And I appreciate you all for being Upkeep customers, for being supporters, ambassadors of ours. Again, I want to hear from you. I've been trying to talk to the bleeding edge of folks that are pioneering the way of AI and maintenance. I would love to talk to you. So thank you. Appreciate it. Hopefully you got some interesting small nuggets of things you can take back to your plant, your facility on how to work smarter, better, faster, and do even more with more. I'm really excited. Thanks, Brian. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of your Wednesday.
Thanks, everybody. See you later. Good job, Ryan. Thank you.